big thanks to Scott Novak joining us, and Terrence Miles spending their Sunday evening with us. We've been doing this about every other night, trying to maintain some sanity. So thank you for joining us. We're going to hopefully just watch some film here and get done in 45, 50 minutes. Sometimes we end up going an hour. The content this evening is roughing the passer and fumble incomplete forward progress type plays. And I thought maybe Scott could go take us a little deeper into some of the details that he uses when he's evaluating. I forgot to mention Rick Rouse, a white hat, 5A, multiple 5A championship white hat out of Denver, is also joining us, and he's going to provide some feedback on what we do at the high school level as well. I don't do a lot of white hats, so I'm going to rely on him. So one of the things that I would like to do, if you are on the video right now, turn your video off just so that we can minimize the amount of bandwidth we're on. So Terrence, Scott, I'm going to have you stop your video. Let me see if I can stop. I'm going to stop yours for you, Scott. All right, you should all be able to see the game film here. I'm going to just jump in since we're getting a little bit of a late start. I'm going to jump in with the fumble incomplete forward progress calls. And we had some conversation earlier about some of these crazy situations. Let me start it from the beginning for you. So we got White on offense. Oh. All right, Novak, what do you have?
Well, I mean, obviously, this is a play. If you're at Littleton Public Schools, you want this play to be happening somewhere in Denver Public School. But just we'll talk mechanics first. I'm not sure why the line of scrimmage officials coming in and signaling incomplete. Now, I get it. The ball hit the ground. I understand that, but ideally, you want the referee to give information as to whether or not this was actually a fumble or forward pass. You don't want the referee to see if the kid caught it. That's not what I'm saying. But is this guy down before the ball comes out? Is there progress? We don't have progress here because he's not being driven back. But ideally, this is a good play to just wait because the play's over right now. Instead of coming in and signaling incomplete, just get together, and if the referee says, yeah, I've got a forward pass, great. If not, obviously he's playing forward pass because he's not making him down, but I would like to see no signal from the line of scrimmage official coming in and killing this play until we get, until the line of scrimmage guy talks to the referee. That's my only thing here. Whether or not he's down or not, I don't know. It's really tight. But if you're going to lean towards something, give him the benefit of the doubt that he got rid of the ball and make it a forward pass. If you're going to lean. When in doubt on this one, make it a forward pass. But, boy, the hand, he can reach down there with his hand. His hand doesn't put him down. But if his thigh hits or his forearm hits before the ball's out of his hand, then he's down. This is tight. I would just let it go. But I'd like to see some communication between the referee and the line of scrimmage guy before we actually signal anything incomplete or whatever. And trust me, it's going to take an extra second or two. It's not a big deal. But you will save yourself some embarrassment or take yourself out of a bad situation if you talk before you end up signaling.
We don't have the luxury to hear a whistle on this, but that could be a problem as well if it is a fumble and you've got a wing coming in signaling an incomplete pass.
Blowing the whistle. Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else got anything on this, panelists? Rick, Mark, Terrence?
No, I'm good.
Anything we can do better to prepare for this or be in position to do things different?
Scott, let me ask you, Scott, would you have a signal from the referee if that was a forward pass? Would you like to see the referee maybe signaling with his arm that that's a forward pass?
Well, let me ask you this. That's Rick. Rick, do you guys use O2O systems on the field? Communication systems?
Oh, radios?
Yeah, the radio, the two-way radio. You guys don't use that in high school, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if you did, you could communicate on that. But again, I think the best thing to do if you have no way of communicating with the crew other than talking is just Go to that line of scrimmage guy. Again, he just needs to wait. He needs to be patient. Let the play out. Because, again, if this is a fumble, then, we've just killed this by making this incomplete. So just come together. And again, when we look at film, guys, trust me, we're not – if you end up showing on this film, we're not saying anything bad or anything about the person individually, but the body language from the referee there, I'm not really sure he knew what he had there. But again, the best thing to do is just talk.
All right, let's shift to this game. Let's see. I'm not positive what our other view is. So I'll let it play out again. So you can see, this is the end zone view, so you're going to get.
Hey, Kurt, can you back it up real quick from the snap?
Yep. Let me play this end zone view out, and then I'll go back to the snap.
Now, the referees that are on the line, are you guys okay as far as position with this, or is he kind of tight on here, or no? I mean, I don't do a lot of refereeing, but are you guys okay with that? Is he okay there?
One of the things I think that we need to do more as referees is get wider. Some guys think that leaves you susceptible if the play goes the other way. But I just think angles are better than straight line. So I think, Terrence, to answer your question, I think we need to be wider.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. We always just got to find that best window. Rick just said it. This is all about angles. This entire game is angles and finding the right window to be in for all of us at all positions. And so put yourself in the best position at the snap. It's kind of like golf. They always talk about be good on your setup and all that. Take care of that stuff first, and then that'll help you as the play develops to be in the right position when, something crazy starts happening like this play is. And still, even when he's covering this play, I think he's kind of tight. Don't you guys? Yeah. I mean, he's right on top of the action.
Yeah.
Well, stop it, Kurt. Stop it.
Don't yell at me, Mark.
Why are we messing around with the whistle? First of all, the referee needs to have the whistle ready. He's kind of fumbling there with the whistle. Let's make sure, first of all, we're ready to officiate the play, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think he's too tight in this.
And I think the wing guy kind of bailed out. He was reading pass, but I think he could have stayed home a little bit longer.
You're talking about this near wing.
Yeah, at the bottom of the screen. He just kind of bailed out there, and he couldn't help much. I apologize, Kurt. I shouldn't yell. I'm just excited.
All right. Anything on the chat line?
No, I don't think so.
We talk regularly about staying at the line of scrimmage just a second longer. I don't know if that was the case there.
Hey, Kirk, Kerry Fry's got his hand up. Does that mean he wants to talk?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to open up the mic. It's going to take too long. We did that on Saturday morning, so I apologize, Kerry. Just put the chat question, if you will. Sorry. All right, so we've got another play. Offense is white. He retreats. So this is one that I don't think you can call progress on.
Now, it's definitely not progress, but, is the quarterback's arm going forward? Has the pass been thrown? I mean, if he's got control and he throws it and the guy knocks it down right away, does that make it a fumble or does it make it incomplete?
Hey, Scott, do you use like a philosophy when the guys hit quarterback from the front or side or kind of lean towards something? Do you do anything with that?
So if the defensive guy is coming straight up the middle and he hits the quarterback from the front, have a philosophy in mind that it's going to be an incomplete pass. If he gets hit from the side or the back, chances are, and you can watch film over and over and over, it's going to be a fumble. I think in this play, we've just got an incomplete forward pass. I know it happens fast, but I think he's got control. The guy just knocks it down. He doesn't take it out of his hands. He just knocks it down immediately, and in my book, that's enough for a forward pass. Anybody got any other thoughts?
So I have a thought on this, on the referee positioning. I think the referee should be straddling the goal line at this point.
We're snapping it from the 22.
Once he needs to retreat, he should be on the goal line now. okay, to make sure he has a good look. And the second thing, assuming this is the correct call, okay, the second thing is the referee should be killing the clock, not pointing. I don't know what that signal is, other than the fact that he's saying I got the spot.
He must have ruled that a fumble.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's why he pointed to the ground.
One more look at it. I'll try to slow it down. I don't know if the ball isn't released, in other words, the contact of the ball and the ball never left the hand of the quarterback, is that a incomplete pass or is that a fumble? I mean, the arm went forward, but what if the ball never was released by the quarterback?
So what's our philosophy, Rick Rouse?
Well, that would be a fumble, though, Mark. If he
But what's the philosophy? Not the play. What is the philosophy? What we rule on?
as far as what about his arm coming forward or not?
Yeah, is it an incomplete pass, or is it
incomplete pass?
Yeah.
When in doubt.
But I got to tell you, I really like what Scott said. If the contact is from the front, you're thinking, incomplete. From the side or back, you're thinking fumble.
That is a great learning thing that I just learned, Scott. Thank you. That is a great thing for all referees to think about.
All right, let's move on. Mark, you're monitoring chat, right?
Yeah, Matt Dijon's a little confused about the clock being killed, but he got straight.
This one's a contact from behind.
So using our philosophy we just talked about, even though the ball goes forward 5 yards, we're ruling out a fumble on this, right?
Exactly right.
Just sticking with those principles we just talked about. I mean, that's a fumble all day. Do you agree with that?
Boy, you're going to have a coach go bananas saying his arm was going forward and the ball went forward.
I don't care. Scott, what do you say with that? Mark, Rick, what do you guys say? I know Scott hears this all the time on Sunday.
I've seen enough of these plays to know that really the direction of the ball is not the deciding point.
Exactly.
It's just not.
No, so when a guy gets tackled from behind, I think the law of physics is going to say where that ball's going to go. And I just think that the tip that Scott just gave is a good one to help us officiate this kind of a play on a tackle from behind.
Let me see if I got another angle. Oh, I got a closer angle.
This is a tight angle, yeah.
This might be a Michigan quarterback here.
Scott, are you good with the fumble on that?
I think we lost Scott. I'm trying to get him back. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
So again, guys, let's look at the wing guy. I think again, let's try to stay home if we can. I think he kind of bailed out deeply. So I just can't emphasize that enough that we got to try to be more disciplined. Yeah, we can read a pass, but let's just try to.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
there you are, Scott.
Okay, sorry. It keeps knocking me out of here. Again, side or back, think fumble. This guy's coming in from the back. I mean, if you can go, again, you can slow-mo it, but we don't have the luxury in the game to run it slow-mo. We just have to hang our hat on a philosophy. And boom, I mean, the ball's out. Look, you can see, right, it's laying on his hand right there. And then the motion of his hand is going to knock it a little forward or a little side, but he has no control of that ball. So that's just always lean towards fumble there. And even if the ball goes forward 5-10 yards, again, and this is where you have to train your crew to don't make, nobody signals. Nobody blows a whistle. This is all on the referee to make the call.
Sorry about this clip. This is a foggy game. Not sure how much value we're going to get out of it because it might be a little tough for everybody to see. It's really a clumsy play. I think it's a similar where the quarterback just throws it into the defender that's tackling him. I don't even know how the ball came out there, to be honest.
Well, it looks like the defender hits his arm and knocks it out. So I agree with this being a fumble. So if you go back to the snap and just kind of freeze it, when he brings the ball back in the first time, so when he tucks it the first time, if he were to lose control.
Hold on, let me take it back a little further here.
It's okay. No, you're good right now. So keep going. Okay, so right there. So if he loses the ball, do we agree that this is a fumble?
Fumble.
Okay, so it's a fumble no matter what. So then it looks like the defender just shoots in and knocks it out of his hand right there. And again, it's real tough to see, and I think the referee does a good job here. He's out of the picture, so he's not that close to it. So I think this is a good job of refereeing this play.
Let's see. I think we've got a better angle of this one. If not, I don't. So this is from the side. Oh, no, only one angle. Referee's got a forward arm, waving it incomplete. Anything we can assist our referees with on this? Is this just going to happen and we've got to prepare? Contact from the side might be fumble.
Yeah, now understand too, what's the umpire doing on this? What's the umpire? Did he signal?
No, I don't think the umpire is signaling anything.
It looks like he signaled incomplete.
No, but once again, I would really just caution referees that the direction of the ball is not the telling factor in deciding if it's a fumble or a forward pass. I mean, you just can't rely on that.
No.
So there's a question out there. Chuck and Brian both think the umpire signaled incomplete. So we don't have a good shot at that. So that may be true. And from Jim Beers, is that a mechanic for the art of signal pass? I don't think so. We don't have a mechanic for the art of signal pass. I think he was. I don't know what that signal is. Can anyone determine that? What he signaled?
I think he was referencing an arm went forward. Is just my interpretation.
Yeah. He was selling the call, I guess.
Yeah.
Then he's waving it. He's waving it as incomplete. I don't know if we want to give that signal though. Rick, would you be giving that signal in high school that his arm was going forward? It's just incomplete.
No, I would just be signaling incomplete.
Yeah. I think that's an unnecessary signal that just incomplete.
The tough part I have with this is, as white hats, you have contact on your quarterback. How do you know that's incomplete? Unless your eyes are drifting downfield to the ball, and maybe he can see that ball bouncing around. Is this a play again where we should slow it down and come talk? Would we be better off doing that, or a lot of times we say if you're going to sell it strong, sell it early, and that's what this referee did.
Well, I think the referee may have been reading what the umpire signaled.
Oh, maybe. I can't quite tell if the umpire does do something odd with his arms. All right.
Okay. Well, the umpire signaled incomplete. Yeah, he signaled incomplete.
All right. Is this my? So this one we have a quarterback that's wrapped up around the neck, it looks like, and then decides to just lob it up. And we got a lineman right there who's willing to catch the ball. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Again, referee, I think, is a little tight. Now we got a tight view here.
So who has forward progress on this?
Referee.
Can the Wings help us out?
I think, Mark, I think it's a backward pass.
I agree. I think it is a backward pass.
And Mark, I know you mentioned this the other day, and then I'm asking this for Scott. With that lineman 63, him reaching back for the ball, would that kind of just help us kind of saying, hey, maybe let's make this backwards if we are in doubt about this at all? I mean, is that something that you can use?
Well, I think whether it's a lineman or a receiver, if that ball's thrown out towards the sideline, if a receiver reaches back into the backfield, yeah, you can always lean towards backwards pass.
Okay.
I'm in the minority here. I think this is a four. If the guy's going to throw it backwards, it's going to go towards the end zone. And again, if this ball were to hit the ground, I think we make it incomplete. That's what I would do. This kid just needs to hold on to the ball. And now, again, he lets it go at the 12, and it's caught at the 12, maybe even at the 12 and a half. I mean, if he's going to throw it backwards, it's going to go backwards. His intent is to throw this forward. And I know, we always talk about being wrapped up and whatever. If he's not wrapped up, this ball's going to end up going forward. But again, the best thing to do here is just do nothing and let the play out. They end up losing 7-8 yards anyway. And, your pucker factor on this is big time anyway. I mean, he's trying to throw it forward. But
No, I tend to agree, Scott, because look at number 5. Number 5 tries to go forward to catch the pass. Watch number 5.
5 is behind the quarterback.
Right, but he's going to run up. Now he's going to run up. Watch. The quarterback wants to throw it to 5. He tries to run up.
Yeah, so
pass.
Again, I mean, we're picking pepper out of fly shit here, but it's, he's affected.
The defender, Scott, grabbing that quarterback, and now he's facing his own goal line. Do you play that in your head at all? Or
if he ends up facing it, if the quarterback's arm is going forward, and then the defender wraps him up and spins him, and the ball ends up going backwards, we still make it a forward pass.
Okay.
Because his intent was to throw the ball forward.
So let's see what happens on here. Is his arm going forward when he gets grabbed? Is his arm? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. But again, this is a good play that if you're working at Denver Public Schools, you want this play to happen at Echo Park Stadium. I guarantee you.
Nobody has forward progress stopped.
No.
Okay.
And the only reason Kirk, the only reason I don't is because the quarterback's not very smart here, and he lets it go.
Yeah. And
his arm's already moving as he's getting hit.
Yeah. He's still squirming.
Yeah.
I agree. So the referee waves this off, incomplete pass. Let's take it back here. Looks like contact from the side. Let me double check and see if we have any other angle. I think this is our only angle for that one, yeah.
Now, I'm leaning fumble here, again, just because of where he's hit. Yeah, maybe his arm goes forward, but you know what? If I'm the referee, let's talk about it, referees. Are we really in a good position? I mean, if that guy's going away from us, Rick, I mean, don't you want to be hauling asses to get a better look at this and get a little bit closer?
Absolutely. I mean, when he goes away, that's why, when you're playing these angles, of being on the quarterback's arm and trying to get wide, one of the downsides to that is you end up being a little bit farther away when the play goes away. So you have to haul ass over there. I mean, you just have to.
Okay, stop, Kurt. Okay, go back if you can. And again, I know we're just getting a little tight. When that quarterback right now, as he starts to go that way, referees, you've got to move the same way. He hasn't moved yet. The referee, he's now taken his first step, and the quarterback's already run 7-8 yards. Now we're just walking. We're walking, and now we start to jog. Again, and we're not, trust me, I'm not being critical of whoever this is, but you've got to give yourself the best opportunity to be in the best position to rule on this play, and you're probably about 20 yards away when you really could be maybe 12 yards away to get a better look at this.
So Scott, when you start moving towards that quarterback, do you want to move straight down that line with him, or do you want to create another angle, kind of bow out a little more? Because let's say he reverses field and starts coming back towards you.
So I'm right now, I'm on the 20. If he starts going this way, T, I want to go his way, but I want to get some depth as well because I need to create an angle. If I go straight line down to 20, I've shortened my angle. So I want to start going out back towards the 25 because I'm probably going to get a better look at this.
Perfect.
And again, is it going to help me get it right or wrong? I don't know, but I bet I probably get a better chance if I get some depth on this play. But as that you got to move with the purpose. So as he moves, you go. And especially, and Rick and the other referees will tell you, in a 5-man system, you're already at a disadvantage. So you've got to put yourself in the best scenario. But again, I think this is a fumble all the way.
You look at it now, Terrence, and because you didn't give yourself any depth, if that were a fumble, boy, that guy, and I know we're not as fast as, but that guy's gone. And look where you're standing.
That's a good point.
If you would have gotten depth on that, you're still in position to rule on that if you called it a fumble.
Yeah. Yep. Now, the other side is we rule incomplete. I don't know what your intentional grounding rules are. I have no idea. But that's something else that you need to think about. Do you have a receiver in the area? 32's out there, but he runs to the goal line. And the only other 2 guys that are in position are linemen. So just something to think about.
This one's in here as some little bit of entertainment, but it's possible we see something like this. They're 16, right?
Hey guys, let's look at the great job the line judge did on this play. At the bottom of the screen. So did the head linesman too. That's good hustle.
If anything, I would want their eyes to get down. Oops, sorry. Their eyes looking downfield for after they read pass. I don't know if you can read hat here. They don't want to watch the quarterback.
Once they saw that ball on the ground, they did the right thing. Period.
I don't know that we got to spend much time on that. So are we okay, so now we're into roughing the passer conversation. This is a blurry clip. Take it back. So we're going to have a rollout pass all the way to the sideline.
Is that the fleet of foot Rick Rouse there?
That was the lead foot Rick Rouse there because I should have been a lot wider than I was there, Terrence.
Okay.
I like you on the goal line, though. I think that's much wider and on the goal line is beneficial. And then take a step back as needed. So, Rick, you got contact out of bounds here, don't you?
Yeah, but it's like Scott said at the start. I mean, he's still a passer. So you still have roughing the passer, even though it's you could call it a hit out of bounds, but he's still a passer.
When you threw the flag, Rick, what was your thought on the flag?
Well, the quarterback, Mark, the reason I threw that flag is the quarterback's going out of bounds, and there's no need to contact anybody when they're going out of bounds. That's why I threw that flag.
So you ruled roughing the passer is what you had, correct?
Well, because he's still a passer.
Right. Okay. So it was not a late hit out of bounds. It was a roughing the passer call.
Correct.
Okay.
So even if it's late, he's still a passer.
Right.
So anytime you can lean to making that guy a passer, always make it roughing. Now, even though it's a two-hand shove, if the contact starts and the quarterback's still in bounds, it's not a foul. I like this call because he gets pushed as that right foot comes down out of bounds, and it's a shove. You know, the kid ends up on the track. I think he ends up like in lane number 3, so that's enough for a roughing.
Who has out of bounds responsibility on this play?
Talking about the quarterbacks.
Yeah, the quarterback stepping out of bounds. Who has responsibility on this play?
That's a white hat, all white hat.
Okay, let's run it. Okay, freeze it. Okay, run it forward. Okay, freeze it now. Okay, who's got that block right there in front, right behind the quarterback?
Umpire and white hat.
So the umpire's looking all the way out there?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Uh,
The referee can't look at that. I mean, he can't. Just,
Oh, yeah.
I know he's got quarterback responsibility, but it's right in his line of sight. I'm asking a question. Can he see that action?
Okay, that's a great question because here's the deal. What's the quarterback doing? Is the quarterback threatened at all?
No.
No. The quarterback is running in space, so we shouldn't be watching the quarterback now. We need to watch that block first as a referee. I don't know if it's a blindside block or not. It looks like it might be because he's going backwards. He hits him high. Again, in our game, unless they change the rule this year, if we get to play football based on a rule last year, this would be a foul.
I mean, I know this is 5-man, which makes this just a bitch of a play, but at the same time, don't we have to officiate whatever threats that we have in our vision?
Terrence, when you say
Absolutely.
that, what are you implying, T?
I'm talking about that block. Let's just say if that was a blindside block or a hold or something, the action that's just right behind the quarterback where Scott said stop it. I mean, you can't just have the referee just looking over, hey, I just got quarterback responsibility and that's all I'm worried about.
Right.
I mean, we need to officiate our nearest threat. I mean, officiate the play, all of us as a crew, 5-man, 7-man, whatever it is. And I know it's a bitch with 5 guys out here and there's 22 of them, but we just can't overlook something that's right in front of us because we have a quarterback that's running out in space. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're there to see stuff.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's a foul or not. It's something that, again, instead of watching quarterback just run free, take a look at that block first and then transition. And trust me, like T said, this is a tough play. And really, it sounds like we've got, and it's nothing against the umpires, but right now, the umpire's 30 yards away from this play, looking at that block.
Generally when you're refereeing, Scott, you're looking at the quarterback and you're looking through to the right tackle. I mean, that's generally what you do. But if you have a quarterback that is rolling your way as a referee, there is no more reason to watch the left tackle. And you should come off of that and get that block right there. That should be referee. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and again, this would be, and again, let's move this to a line of scrimmage responsibility. Let's say this is a runner just running up the sideline in space, and there happens to be a block. It's the same thing. You never want to look at guys in space. You want to officiate the threats. And right now, that's the threat, is that block. And then we go to the quarterback. We get the roughing call, absolutely, but, should we maybe have had something else too? And again, it's a tough play to call. But again, look, that block first. There's my threat. Quarterback's not threatened right now. So look at that block first, and then we go to that one. So
let's talk a little bit about, I'm trying to understand this line judge at the bottom of the screen, dead ball officiating. I don't know what he's looking at up there that the back judge can't be looking at. You see what I'm saying? Don't we want that line judge looking at the play out of bounds too, right now, just to make sure there's nothing else that happened?
No, he's got to have a receiver.
No, at the end of the play, dead ball, the ball's dead. Where's he looking at? What's he looking at there?
I don't know if he's got a player in the bench as well. He's got a receiver. I don't like him looking at quarterback right here.
I'm talking about dead ball out of bounds play.
You're talking about right now.
I mean, you can tell Rick is looking over there watching it, but at the same time, what Mark is saying, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having another set of eyes. Just turn and look. Because you got a guy that's in the lane 3 that gets knocked into lane 3. We need to be seeing what's going on with him.
Rick, is your arm okay? And he's ready to hack that thing off.
Well, that was a severe personal or roughing the passer.
That was a flagrant, huh?
That was flagrant.
So here we've got the 2-hand shiver after the ball's gone. Wasn't real violent, but unnecessary. White hats.
Well,
So the,
I definitely think it is because, if you let something like that go,
yep.
you're kind of you're sending a message to the defense that, it's okay to take liberties with your quarterback. And that's why I would call that.
I agree with you, Rick. My only question is he blocked? Is 71 pushing or 77 pushing him into him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know.
I don't think there's anything that gets a head coach more riled up than unnecessary contact on his quarterback.
I agree. Totally agree. And if this is, especially if this is early in the game, you just knock that shit off right there. So it's 2 hands to the chest. There's no need for that.
Doug Lowe had a good comment, and I like Doug's comment that defender can control his hands. That defender can decide whether he's going to put his hands out or just run past him. And in that point, he pushed him down.
Good comment. Another roughing the passer. This one is a double reverse. Some of you that were on a little bit early, this is what we were spending a little bit of time on. So we got 2 flags that come out of the white hat's pocket. We think he maybe has a hold at the line of scrimmage. A double reverse, and then maybe a pancake tackle. And another flag comes out. I don't know that we need to get into a deep debate of whether or not this is a good call for a roughing the passer, but I think it's important to note that just because he's not a quarterback does not mean we can't have roughing the passer.
Okay, so the holding that was also thrown by the referee here, just to let the referees know, this is not a hold. It's a rip. Watch the defender right there. He's got his arm up, so he's trying to rip through. So this is not enough for a hold unless, and I mean, he really just runs through this, supposed restriction. But that action right there, I mean, nothing happens. There's nothing there. So you definitely don't. You want to make your holding calls much, much, much bigger than that.
Well, it certainly didn't restrict that guy from the defender from going where he wanted to go.
No, he gets right through there. So
Scott, a question to ask you. So when you see that guy ripping in the offensive shoulder, lineman's shoulder comes up, that's a good indicator for you when you see that shoulder come up on the offensive lineman?
Well, again, you have to know, you have to know, Mark, how the bodies end up looking the way that they do. And this, again, it's initiated by the defender. And I assume everybody on the call knows what a rip is. So when that guy puts his hand up there to get through it, and he just continues to go unless he gets jerked to the ground, there's no restriction there. So, so again, you're officiating colors in there. You're officiating blue-white. You see a blue kid run by a white jersey kid, you need to immediately look how he got there. And again, you shouldn't be watching the quarterback take the snap. You never want to watch the quarterback hand the ball off. You immediately officiate the play, so you go right to the line of scrimmage and look for indicators that would indicate a foul. And this starts from a rip, and we can't have a hold that starts from rip. I'm not saying that you can't, but in this case, we don't. So I'm not sure what the referee saw to throw on this. But just like Rick said, I mean, he gets exactly where he wants to get, and that's that. So, I mean, he runs right through the guys, and I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Well, I think also that, like all flags, at times, we need to be patient on the flag.
Slow.
We should have just, if we slow it down and just look at this and say, oh, I think I got a hold. I think, nope, it's not.
No, if you start thinking, you go, that's a hold, a hold, I got a hold. I mean, it should take, now it's not going to take that long.
Yeah.
But you need to tell yourself a couple times before you pull that out. Just don't be so fast. Because again, when we play this regular speed, and again, we're not criticizing anybody, but there's no restriction here. There's not enough for a hold. I can't tell on the roughing because it's out of the frame. The contact on the quarterback's fine, but again, is it full body weight? I don't know. It can't be that severe because number 5 gets up and he's right into the play making a tackle. I mean, he pops right up. So, again, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know whose comments these are.
Ooh.
A lot going on there.
There's a lot going on.
So is that a second act throwdown out of bounds?
Let's take a look at all this here. So it looks like, let me erase this so that let it play through. I don't know I don't think this is a roughing the passer. It's like somebody says a blindside block.
No, that's a block in the back.
A block in the back.
Yeah, it's not a blindside. It's a block in the back for sure. Boom. Now, who sees that? I mean, does the line of scrimmage guy looking right at it? Just look at his hat. I mean, that's where you should be looking because, again, we just talked about this quarterback. This runner's running in space. So go to the blocks. Go to the block. I like the personal foul. I like that.
So I like a comment from Mike Bush and Chuck Hickey that can the back judge help out on that there, guys, on a 5-man crew? I think so. I think the back judge needs to be looking in there.
So at this point, we talk about we don't need to officiate error here. If we get a caught pass, there's no threat on the runner. So, yeah, the wings, eyes, and it looks like they were on that.
Well, I think the back judge could help out on that call, Kurt.
On the block in the back?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Even the umpire can swing. And he'll get there late, though. He'll get there late. But again, the only action is 11 and 54. That's the block. That's the only thing that's happening on this. That's the only thing we should be looking at. And then this is a good job here. That's what we call a second act. You see something like that, that's enough for a UNR foul out of bounds.
See how the line judge came back to the play again? He left the original spot, and now comes back to the play. I think if we just stay there, we're in a better position.
Is there a hit on the quarterback that looks high with a helmet, Kirk? Is that why you
that was one of the initial comments, yeah.
Yeah, that comment was in there. I don't know whose comment it was. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is a roughing the passer here?
Well, if you look at that kid's helmet, he hits that quarterback with the crown of his helmet.
Yeah. Not the first one, but the second one, right, Rick?
Second one.
Yeah.
Right there.
So yeah, he's in a posture to where his head is leading.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could probably lean on this one and make it a roughing the passer.
Are you talking about this guy?
No.
This guy.
Right there.
Yes, that kid right there. But again, referees, you got to focus right there, and trust me, it's a tough call. It's a really tough call, but you've got to stay on that, and hopefully you've created an angle to see it.
Yeah, that happens so fast, but I think you got to err on the side of safety anymore, Scott. I just do.
And the other thing, Rick, and even Mark, because you've refereed, and other referees on the call, if you get a kid that leads with his head and he hits any part of that quarterback's helmet, doesn't that make a distinct kind of sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not saying you officiate on sound, but sometimes you can have that help. In our game in stadiums, it's kind of loud, but I still remember, working some Big 12 games when those kids, Bradford or some of those kids got hit in the helmet and they got hit helmet down. You can hear that shit.
Yeah, you can.
You can hear it, and it's how what you guys have been doing. You've worked hundreds of games and thousands of snaps. I guarantee you're going to know what that sounds like. So don't let that fool you. If you hear that, man, it's all right to fire because you saw that kid lower his head.
Right.
I think this is our last. So it looks like I said roughing the passer called. Incorrect. Let's see if you guys agree.
So I'm wondering why Rick, where would you be standing at? I think the referee is a little too shallow. He's too tight. Doesn't he need to be back a little bit more? I know there's a goal line there, but we're snapping on, looks like the 6.
I don't know exactly where he started from. Oh yeah, I think I'd be in halfway in the end zone, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you all, sorry. Rick, do you guys have low hits on quarterback in the knee area? Okay. Because I think, honestly, this starts at the waistline. And the guy hits him with his shoulder. He's not leading with his head. I don't think this is a foul. So I'm just asking if you have that rule.
No, Scott, we do not have a low hit, and I agree with you. I think there's no foul on this play.
Okay. Unless he just buries him, unless he picks him up and buries him, but here he doesn't. It's all one motion. It's all one act. So I think we're okay to not have anything on this one.
I don't think the defender knows if the pass is even made.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Kirk, the defender's already committed himself. So he's okay here. I think he's fine. Plus he's being blocked. It's just, I think it's better to stay off this. I think a lot of that contact is initiated from that lineman going back there and pushing it. So, and if we had an end zone shot, we could probably see it a little bit better.
Okay, I think we're going to call it good there. We're about 3 or 4 minutes out. Huge thank yous to Scott. I'd like to allow some parting comments for you guys. Let's start with our guest, Scott. You got anything you want to share with us? We certainly appreciate you joining us.
Well, again, we're kind of in some uncertain times, and it's great that Kirk and Mark and you guys and T are doing these. All we can really do is assume that we're going to have football in the fall and get ourselves mentally and physically ready to work. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we have no control over it. But right now, this is the stuff that we need to be doing, getting into your rule book and looking at film. So I applaud everybody for doing this. And, again, don't ever hesitate to reach out, because again, we're kind of all in this together, and no matter what uniform we put on a Thursday night or a Sunday afternoon, it doesn't matter what size the stripe is, we all do the same thing, and we're all just trying to get it right. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. And again, thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Terrence?
No, just control the controllables and just stay healthy. That's all I would say. Just control what we can control.
Ussery.
So, first of all, Scott, and thank you very much for joining us. I learned something, a great mechanic I'm going to implement hopefully this fall is be more aware of the side or back hit on the quarterback to help me determine if it's a forward pass or a fumble. I think that's something I learned tonight, so thank you. I also think, guys, we still got to keep thinking for reasons not to throw the flag. Slow down. Keep that in top line. Think of reasons not to throw your flag, because the more flags we have on the ground, the uglier the game's going to get. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Oh, you forgot to tell everybody to wash their hands, Mark.
Russell, go wash your head.
Wash my hands. Rouse, you got the last word.
Last word is I want to thank you, Kirk, for putting this stuff together. I can't imagine how many hours of film you look at all the time, and you got to be a really boring guy at home. But
I'm totally boring.
I commend you for doing this, number one. Number two, guys, hey, play the angles. Play the angles. Don't get straight lined. And wash your hands.
Wash your hands. All right, we'll wrap it up right at 8:30. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you on Tuesday night for
Thanks,
some
Scott.
2A championship review. Take care.